Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you let me know? How are we doing? How are we getting on? How are we? Are we alright? Yes, 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 and yes. Botrix has correctly joined the channel. That was quick. Greetings and salutations to you too, Saf. How are you doing? You alright, mate? Really enjoyed your streams the last couple of days. Fantastic stuff. I'm testing something out tonight as well. Mandy, how are you? Mandy the Spanner, how are you doing? You okay? I'm testing something. Hopefully, the next time I do an impromptu live from the car, I can have this and have the chat open, so it's a bit bigger and I can see what people are actually saying. Bot joined twice. Does that mean double points? Ask bot, don't ask me. Testing what? Testes, testicles, test that, yes. A couple of things, but yeah. I can actually get Botrix on the iPad, so I can see the comments coming through a lot better than I can see them on my phone when I'm in the car. So hopefully the next time I go out for a little bit of a drive even, I will take that with me in case I do go live, which should be grand. So it is. Muy bien, gracias, El Sapo. Claro, claro. Come on, you Blues. I didn't even touch ball and it came up. How mad's that? Surprised to see me tonight. I sold my ticket. I don't like going to derby games. I absolutely hate them. And let's face it, we are going to get absolutely obliterated tonight. So I'd rather not watch. I'd rather steer clear, because it means they're going to win the league and we'll get relegated, and I hate it. Bloody typical. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. Doubt it, but stranger things have happened. Next we'll see a C-Class diesel with 5,000 pieces of tech and a 6'2" neck. No, 6'4" neck, mate. There's not a chance on earth that I'm 6'2", no matter what that mad woman said in the clinic. I am far too tall for that. The C-Class Mercedes is a bit better today, and I'm a bit poorer. Because it was driving without a turbo for at least a year, possibly longer. And then suddenly it's got a turbo on. It's not used to boost pressure. So the boost pressure hose split, meaning a loss of boost pressure and very, very lumpy running. So my mate Ian at TriPoint Autos in Southport, if you've got a Mercedes car anywhere in Merseyside, West Lancashire, the Northwest, go and see him. He's an absolute fantastic fella, completely trustworthy, straight, great fella. He sorted it out for me today. Took 10 minutes. I've had to wait for 4 to 5 days for the part to arrive, but 10 minutes in there, done, and it is running like an absolute dream. And at some point I would like to take the car out, do some driving and filming, now that I know I can do it. I couldn't go to the match at the weekend because I'm alright. I was alright driving it around town, but not doing 60, 70 mile an hour down the bypass. No es bueno, man. No es bueno. Mandy, no, I do not want to know the score unless Everton are suddenly winning 17-0, you know what I mean? But apart from that, no. I'd rather avoid it completely. I'll find out anyway because my phone will blow up later, no matter what happens. It'll either be me blue mates saying that we've won or got a draw, or it'll be me red mates that never go to the game but love the TVs. It's always the bleeding same. Reverse psychology. It's not even that, Steve. I just hate the games. Like I said the other day, I don't know if you've seen it or not. I would rather every season start off with the derby home and away. Doesn't matter what the score is. Get them out of the way and then you can relax and enjoy the rest of the season in peace. Whereas now, it's normally October, November for the first one at Anfield, and then March, April at Goodison. So you've got an entire year full of hatred. It's horrible. Kirsty, how you doing? Nice to see you nice. Would I prefer a massive brawl on the pitch or a win? A win, desperately. We had a huge 6-pointer at the weekend against Notts Forest. Not Nottingham Forest, Notts Forest. I don't give a shit if you're from Nottingham. You do not get to choose your own nickname. We call you Notts Forest, that's all it is. Stop moaning about it, you pissy shower of gobshites. Points are all that matters at the moment. I'd rather get it over and done with and out of the way. Although if we do get relegated, bye-bye to the Premier League, the most corrupt league on earth. Bastards. But there we go. Anyway. Yeah, but 3 points tonight if possible. If not, a brawl. I'll be happy with a brawl after that. Especially as Ben Godfrey is playing, the former Norwich defender, who's also a very, very, very handy lad, very talented boxer. Throw him in there, let him start sparking people left, right and centre. Sorry, Mandy. Yeah, Big Ben. Big Bad Ben. Top lad. But unfortunately also a red card and a penalty waiting to happen. But I like him. It's my kind of chap. Oh, by the way, you probably can't see it. I'll have to move that. The Isle of Man is up, and also this one that you won't be able to see. But I am... Oh, hang on.
It's going up, it's going up. It's there.
Level 13. Safademus, that only flashed. What flashed? Right, that thing there. You won't be able to see it because it's too far away. So I will put it on the screen. Okay? This is up on the board behind me. This stream is evidence that there is only SAF in the entire southern hemisphere. So this is a legitimate representation of the Earth. Southern hemisphere, SAF. Northern hemisphere, literally everybody else on Earth. There you go. And you are up there. That means, SAF, you are now our representative for the entire southern hemisphere. With great power comes great responsibility, my friend. Remember that. You're holding up the entire northern hemisphere. Strong like bull, my friend. So it's, yeah, the Isle of Man and the hemisphere of SAF are both up there at the moment. And I got to use me. I got my thing out. I got my thing out last night and I had to go play with it. Because I've only got one hand. I am absolutely shabite with a pair of scissors. So I've got my little cutter and I used it yesterday. I've also got that to go up. Repping the Daniel. And for Susan in Las Vegas. Who else have we had? That's if I decide to do all that anyway. Bit of matron there, sorry. Great responsibility, but no lady friends. There's loads of ladies here who are all your friends. Yeah, but I enjoyed that last night, having a fiddle with me chopper. Sorry, Steve, on time this one. I was only watching him earlier on in Up Pompeii. Fantastic, so funny that. There's plenty of Northern Hemisphere action going on here. What else was I was going to tell you something then as well. I can't think what it is. There's lovely ladies in the chat. Lots of lovely ladies. Oh, what that? I was going to tell you something and I can't think. It must have been either a lie or utterly dog shit boring or both. So, doesn't really matter, does it? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Eventually. Yeah. What's Ilona then? You introduced her as your better half. She's your boss. By boss, do you mean boss or do you mean boss? Boss as in boss or put a ring on it kind of boss. Speedy Mitchell, how you doing? Hola amigo. Goedenavond meneer. Hoe gaat het met jou? Oh, Dutch, yeah. FC Twente won tonight and have guaranteed European football for next season. Sorry, Mandy. And they finished just before we started, so delighted with that. Utterly delightagated. At some point, I would love to get over there and watch a game. Saf, you subcontract work from her? Alright, so that's what you mean, you're sort of your boss. A work provider. If you're subbing, she's not really your boss, but you're getting your work from her, that's fine. If Everton score, you won't hear me old man shouting because it's a dynamic mic. Unless the windows go in. You never know. I am the result of a mixed marriage, by the way. My dad's a blue, my ma's a red. She's the only one. The rest of the family are all blue, so she doesn't really... She still shouts loud, but no one takes any bleeding notice of her. You don't watch football. You also don't watch Dutch TV. It's quite boring. I can't remember much about Dutch TV, I'll be honest. I know when we lived there, we used to get videos sent over of English shows and American shows and things. And then also, the year before we left to come back home, we managed to get British Forces Broadcasting Service, BFBS, which was like a proto satellite channel that you get via cable. And it used to have loads of English speaking programs on it, Top of the Pops, Match of the Day and things like that, which was great. I remember Football 80 used to be on because my dad appeared live on Dutch TV doing a Tommy Cooper magic act and impression live on TV on like their version of Match of the Day. It was slightly strange. He also helped write a song that was in one of the charts. Weird, very weird. Better half means romantic partner over here, yep. And of course you can always use that old joke, can't you, as you walk in the pub. Where's your better half? I am here. Mandy, you don't watch any sport, you just zone out during these bits. Mandy, your sport, of course, is competitive boxing. That's a sport in itself. Mitchell, you were on TV once. What were you doing? It wasn't a murder hunt, was it? Please say it wasn't a murder hunt. Have you seen this man? No. What were you doing, mate? My mate from work was convinced, absolutely convinced, he was in a porn film once. He was outside our work, waiting to cross the road, and there was like a Mercedes van with all the windows blacked out, and there was noises coming from the back of it, and he was convinced that he was going to appear in the back of a porn film. You were a kid doing a show. Oh, that's good. School versus another school. Very nice. Have you kept hold of it? Have you got the video or the DVD, or it'll be electric? What the fuck's electric mean? No, it'll be digital now, won't it? Not the same as us having to record yourself with a VHS cassette and then put a proper sign on it, do not tape over, and then someone still tapes over it anyway. Yeah, of course, Kirsty, not remotely interested in sports unless it's something like hobby horse jousting. They're still sports, but they're a bit more interesting, aren't they? You haven't got it anymore? Man, what a shame. Should keep hold of stuff like that. I think my dad's magic act is it's around somewhere. Someone's got it on a DVD. If I can find it, I'm going to put it up on my channel. Man, one of your mates was on Blockbusters. Was that with Bob Holness, proper old school Blockbusters? Did he win? Yeah, you have to tell us this. Did he win? And did he get to pick the letter? Did he get to pick a P? Did he manage to say, I'll have a P, please, Bob? I'm saying he. It might have been a woman. How absolutely ridiculously presumptuous of me. He didn't answer the question. He. Right. Even better. That's much better because your mate can appear on TV and you can rip the piss and go, you never even opened your mouth, soft lad. My mate appeared on 15-1. Never told us he was going on it at all. Obviously because he knew we were going to take the piss. I think he managed to get one question right and that was it, and then he was out in the first round. Nope, he's a bloke. But that shouldn't have been presuming, should I? Friends don't have to be male. I've got lots of friends that are not male. Some of them are even female. In fact, most of my good mates in work are female. If you go to the South African PSL football highlights in the mid-90s, you might spot Saf on the bench in a clip or two. If we can find the archives, we will do that, mate. And then we'll start putting it on here constantly. I'm trying to think, have I been on TV? Well, obviously I've been on TV, haven't I? Fucking hell, stupid. I've been on Dutch TV. I told you all about it while it was being filmed. You knew I was on Dutch TV. Quite funny as well, the fact that everybody that I spoke to afterwards was talking about your documentary. It was nothing to do with me, it was my dad's. I didn't correct them, of course. I gloried in it. Never made your pro debut, The Life of a Keeper. Yeah, unfortunately that works that way, doesn't it, Saf? I know there's been some goalkeepers who've been second, been on the bench constantly for absolute donkey's years, have earned good money out of a career, but when you retire at the end, so what have you done? You played a couple of hundred reserve games. Emi Martinez was a bit like that when he was on the bench at Arsenal, and eventually got annoyed by going away on loans all the time, that he pushed for a move to Aston Villa, then ended up winning the World Cup with Argentina, which shows you if you push and don't take second best for fucking granted, you can get out there and make a bit of a change, but not everyone can, unfortunately. Mandy, you were told you were on the local news for Donington. You didn't say it, you were there. Would this be a race meeting or Monsters of Rock, or whatever it was, Donington? What were you doing? Were you on a motorbike? Or were you moshing? Were you in the mosh pit? Motorbike or mosh pit? Go ahead. Safi, you did make your debut. It would have been for the eternal enemy of Cape Town City FC. Whoa. But it would have still been good to have made your debut and played at that level. Like, my dad's a massive Evertonian, but being a professional footballer during the 70s and 80s, he said himself, if Liverpool would have come calling for him, he'd have crawled across broken glass to play for them, because he would have ended up winning trophies and having more medals to show people, because he was a professional, not just a fan. More a dogging meeting. Can you call dogging a meeting, or is it a meeting? Man, you were probably on somebody's shoulders. Easy, Tiger. Whatever tickles your pickle, darling. Whatever tickles your pickle. When City played Birmingham in Cardiff in the playoffs years ago, you were in the crowd close to the front, and your phone went mad with calls and texts from everyone saying that you were showing on TV. Hard to miss, mate. Hard to miss. Definitely. I suppose quite easily done, isn't it? Football. I was in the Evertonian magazine. We played Spurs in the FA Cup semi-final at Ellen Road in Leeds, and we were on the second row. The first row was empty, wasn't allowed to have anyone in there. So I think when the second goal went in, I was jumping up. And a bit later on, the Spurs fans came on trying to start a bit of trouble to get the game stopped, because we were winning 4-0. Or 4-1, sorry. But Big Nev just told him to foxtrot Oscar, and he all got off the pitch. MOR is Monsters of Rock, obviously. Yes, of course. Steve, fill the screen. You emote from the screen, but you own the screen. That's what it is. Who was on, Mandy? Do you remember? Who was on the Monsters of Rock? What was the headline act? Do you know anyone that was on there that year? Or did you go constantly? Were you there every year, so you can't quite remember which one it was? Let us know, La. Let us know. Need to know these things. Saf, once at a race meeting, a reporter did a piece with the race winner, who was from your club. Asked for a photo with all the guys who won the team challenge. You walked by and were dragged into the photo, as well you should. How brilliant was it, Mandy? Yeah, how brilliant. Was it good? Was it disappointing? Did it rock? Let us know. And you were the only one in the photo who never won a road race event, Staff. Doesn't matter. Just stand there, look proud, chest out. Tits and teeth, darling, tits and teeth. No one knows, do they? Just says the winners with your face on the front. Thunder, Choir Boys, Poison, Aerosmith and Whitesnake. That sounds like absolute dog shit, to be honest with you. I've seen the Choir Boys. They were the support act for either Fish or Marillion at the Royal Court in Liverpool during the late 80s, I want to say. Late 80s. I didn't know who they were, but they come on and they were a bit too, I don't know, a bit too oily for me. At a Marillion gig, you know what I mean? Fucking Marillion and the Choir Boys were a bit too oily. Those are some great gigs, Marillion, and I've seen Fish 6 times. I've seen Marillion 5 times. I don't think I ever saw Marillion with Fish. I think it was afterwards. In that order. Yeah. Can't say I'm a fan of that kind of music at all, but I suppose if you're going to go somewhere, Aerosmith's a name, and Whitesnake are a proper name as well, aren't they? Poison, far too bloody poodle rock and hairspray rock for me. Unless it was the French band Poisson, of course, who was also the lead singer in Marillion. Choir Boys does sound like the support act for the Catholic priests. Yeah, on your knees, boys. Most Catholic priests, their favourite artist would be Neil Young, of course. As the younger they are, the more you want them to kneel. Filthy, filthy beggars. Lavender blue, dilly dilly. Yeah, I love Marillion. Me niece, Nicola, another Nick in the family. She's the one that got us into Marillion. I'd never heard of them really beforehand. And then she started lending us the albums, and the next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. They started getting big hits. You think you kissed the lead singer of the Choir Boys? Not there though. Do you mean not at Donington or not there though? Where did you kiss him? On the forehead. Lived the life you girl, haven't you? Does that officially make you a groupie? At the TIV. You kissed them at the TIV. That's a good job that you didn't say the tip there by accident, isn't it, really? Kissed them at the tip. At the Buckley Tivoli. Yeah, geographically and anatomically, please, Mandy. Geographically, we've got the Buckley Tivoli, which is a famous music venue in North Wales. Famously used by a lot of, well, yeah, not just North Walians, but lots of Liverpudlians go there to watch gigs. I think probably Manx do as well, don't they? Because it's fairly close. Mandy, you had groupies. When you say had, what did he throw anything at you? You know the way all the groupies used to throw the knickers at Tom Jones. Your groupies, did he throw the Zimmer frames at you? The flat caps. What happened? "30 minutes gone, do I want to know the score?" Go on. Go on, Steve. Hit me, Steve-o, one more time. Everton 1-0, really? Oh.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
Levelled up, level 16. By the way, Mitchell, if you're still here, I know that's probably slightly confusing, but the text that we've got on the screen there, the messages, that's done through a system called Botrix, and Botrix has a leaderboard. The more chats, the higher you go up on the leaderboard. So all the people in the chat seems to be very, very, very competitive about reaching the top of the table. That's what that is. So if anyone levels up, it's because they're leveled up in the chat. Saf, your mum tried to steal your bottle. Nah, can't be having that, mate. 1-0, who scored? Mandy, in my youth, they threw themselves. That sounds like, I don't know, sounds like something Bette Davis would say when she's gin soaked and crying on the bottom of the stairs. Oh, in my youth, they threw themselves. Yeah. I'm sure they still do, Mandy. I'm sure they do. You're top. You certainly am, Mandy. You're top. Jared Branthwaite is right. Big fella. He is a proper unit, that lad. Look at the size of him. 6'5" and built like a wardrobe. Just tried searching the show you were in. Can't even remember the name. Ah, fair enough, Mitch. At least you tried, mate. At least you tried. It'll come to you at some point. You'll find it. As always, we always stumble across these things later on in life. Slidey time. Again, you're about to see some exceptionally weird messages from Kirsty, Rabbit Hole Library, doing slidey writing, all to get points to go higher and higher on the Botrix League table. Chicken Pride Dysfunction Jellyfish Security Drivers Riverboat. Kirsty, you couldn't have said it any better, girl. Just what I was thinking. Remember in the early days, Mandy would tell Kevin you all sorts. Are you hiding stuff from us now, are you? Is that what it is? I don't think I was there right at the start for Kev's stuff. I wasn't too far away though. Yeah, Mitchell, when Saf does another live stream, you should join him and he will etch something on glass for you. The last few days, Saf has been etching a bottle and he's put a little logo for each one of us in the stream. Just that represents us. It's very nice, very thoughtful of him, and it's a chilled kind of stream as well. There was classical music in the background, and Saf's just there beautifully etching away on glass. Brilliant, very relaxed. We love slidey time, we do. Yep, a games controller maybe. That's an idea. Something that represents you. It's a nice thing to do. I've got my flags, including Saf being the only person who lives in the southern hemisphere, and he's got his bottle with his logos on, which looks lovely. It was all true. You don't lie. Ooh. Start calling you Shakira. Those lips don't lie. Except hers were hips, weren't they? What did you tell him now? What did you tell him? I want to know. What did I miss out on? Did you tell him secrets? Did you tell him about Monsters of Rock? About you sitting on people's shoulders? And kissing the Queen's right? Who else? I'm trying to think now. Around that time, I went to go and see loads of people. My favourite one was The Mission. This was 88 or 89, I think. Or maybe 1990, I'll have to find out. Everyone in the gig was wearing black. Apart from me, I was wearing white. Baggy white t-shirt, baggy white kicks, and a white bucket hat. So I stood out completely. But I loved it. The Mission were fantastic live. Yep, soon Kirsty, Rabbit Hole Library, will have her own channel up and running, and we can see what she has for us. That will be exceptionally interesting to see. And like I said earlier on, if you need any help with it, the good thing as well about it is, with the likes of StreamYard, you can invite people in. You just send them a link, they can join, and then if you need any moral support or just someone to be there and have the piss taken out of them and stuff, you're more than welcome to do that. We'll all be there to support you and look after you. OBS, you can eventually go into that, but I think to begin with, just try with StreamYard until you get yourself used to it. The kind of stuff that I do now, I can't do with StreamYard. I have to use OBS. There's just too many scenes and too many little trigger things that I use. But I started off using StreamYard and Restream, and Dan and Kev did, and Angie still uses theirs. So if you want to see what it looks like, just watch one of Angie's streams. You know, she always brings people up, doesn't she? She gets people on a panel and what have you. Really straightforward stuff. And when you open up StreamYard, it gives you the option of add a camera. It's just a drop down, and you pick the camera that you've got plugged in, and the same with the microphone. Whereas with OBS, you have to physically start adding things, and it's a bit more of a pain in the arse. It's interesting though. Already got one subject for a live, and that is, why does the US Navy have a bigger air force than the US Air Force? That is very interesting and a bit strange, but yeah, I suppose there will be a decent reason for it, won't there? Disney has a bigger fleet than the US Navy. True. More dangerous as well. One of the Disney cruise ships was in Liverpool when I was working one morning. And when it gets to a certain time of the morning, they set the horns off. But it was When You Wish Upon a Star, it played the tune. So that's fantastic, that. If you're a kid on there and you hear that of a morning, isn't that superb? But then again, it was like 7:15 in the morning. I was pissed off anyway. We get plenty of them in Liverpool. Loads of the cruise ships. They are scary how big some of them are. I mean, the lifer buildings are not exactly small, but these ships dwarf them. It is crazy. And especially those bloody big aircraft carriers, the Navy ones. Cray. Kirsty, been setting up StreamYard. Brilliant. Like I say, when I first started doing the streams, or I first started thinking about doing them, Kev and Dan made sure to give me loads of advice about stuff, and it was StreamYard that I started off with because it was easy. The whole point of it is make things as easy on yourself to begin with until you get used to being on camera, or until you get used to running a live stream. Once you get used to doing that, then you can start looking at whether you want to go to something like OBS, which is far more powerful but a lot more involved. You might find it's easy to stick with StreamYard. Like I say, I've got to the point now with how complicated the stream can be at times that it has to be done through OBS or Streamlabs OBS, but even that's a bit much. Back to slidey time. You'll be reaching out soon. Not a problem at all. Anytime, Kirsty, just let me know, and I can jump on a call with you and talk you through anything. I can share my screen and show you what I do. I might have to go back and remind myself of what StreamYard looks like, but I know when I first started it, like I say, Daniel and Kev were really helpful. But even after the first couple of times, like I know this now, it's straightforward. It holds your hands quite well. Lets you know what you're doing right and what you're not doing right. So hopefully you should be fine. And it then allows you to concentrate on what you're doing, your presentation, what you're talking about, rather than worrying about pressing buttons and things. That will come later on. We'll get you pushing buttons and deleting the internet at some point. Yeah, same with Daniel and Angie. Reach out to them, they'll be able to proper help you out. War room. Yeah. Not always good, a war room, apart from maybe to take a lot of the technical things out of any group chats that you've got, because it can get a little bit over the top. But just that little bit of support, a little bit of help. How do I do this? It's fairly straightforward. It's nice. Chef, if you manage your time correctly tomorrow, you might have a premiere. Do it. Get on it. Make sure you do it. Keep on building them hours up. That's what I need to do at the moment. I did last week when I had the Saturday stream, the Sunday stream, the walk-in video. All of that added together, and all of a sudden I got a bit of a boost in watch hours. So I need to keep on doing that, because hopefully I've got till about August to make sure that I've got at least 3,000 hours going, which is a lot more bloody difficult than you think. Steve, yep, the click. It's not good having clicks. Like I said, it's good to have somewhere where you can take some of this away from general, general chat, to just talk someone through it, because it can be very, very labour intensive. I think the whole point of the war room as well originally was for all the actual YouTubers, the ones who are making the videos or going live, to try and sort it between them. Like, I'll premiere on Monday, you do us live on Tuesday, you do this on Wednesday, so they weren't stepping on each other's toes. That appears to have gone by the wayside, because everyone started doing the same content, which I know when you're doing it for your job, you have to pick whatever's popular. But I think in that case, the war room went by the wayside. And I think it was Ren, when all the Ren stuff started and everyone started just doing reactions to him. Well, there's no point having the war room now saying you don't react to this and you don't react to that, because they all had to. Whereas we'll have our own little war room, Kirsty, me and you. It'll be sound. Yep. Mandy and Hadvig appeared in the slidey writing thing at the same time, bizarrely. You're not a click, Mandy. Your bones may click occasionally, you'll admit to that. Mine do constantly. I've been sat here working today. I sit at the same desk to work as well. And, oh man, hour after hour, because I was covering the phones. There's not a bit of me that's not sore. And it was dead hot, because the sun comes through there for the second half of the day. And when I dropped my daughter off this morning at work, it was sunny but cold. So I had a fleece hoodie on. And when I come back in and started work, I wore that. And then as the day went on, it got warmer and warmer, and I started melting in the hoodie. But I couldn't really take it off because I had my headset on. And Saf, of course, yes. You can be part of the whole room, not a problem, mate. We'll get you in there. Is it a war room? Is it a hall room? Is it a dog in dungeon? What is it? It's something or other, isn't it? This fucking camera's doing my head in at the moment. Don't know why it's doing it. I can't turn off the focus completely because if I do and I move backwards, I go dead blurry. And I've also got one working hand, so I can't really start pissing about with trying to manually focus shizzle. So it has got to be on, unfortunately, but I don't know why it's doing it. It's not as if I'm holding anything up to it. I think there's enough light, maybe. Maybe that needs to come down slightly. The big light, the stupidly big light needs to come down. I'll do that later. When I say later, I mean probably July or something. Blame Jeff. It's always Jeff. If in doubt, blame that big blue bastard. That's Jeff, not me, by the way. A mixture of all of them, yep. The dog in dungeon. Sheffield United 1, Man United 0. What? How have they managed that? How close am I to 3,000 at the moment? I am 2,110 hours at the moment. Because I started doing my videos really in November, December 2022. So some of them are coming off now. It's a rolling 365 days. So I might be losing time, but I'm also gaining a bit each day. So I'm not making massive gains, but it's still going on. But I think I've got about, if I go till August, beginning of August, I need to get 3,000 by that point. At that stage, at 3,000 you can join the partner program. You can't get advertising revenue until 4,000 hours, but you can get into the partner program, which will then open up a few more opportunities, which would be nice, because once you're in it as well, you just need to keep pushing the hours. Don't need to reapply or anything. Yeah, but 2,110. So I am taking it in 100 hour steps. 2,000, 2,100. So we're on our way to 2,200. I'm looking forward to that one. These lives really do help, as do the impromptu ones. So I will give you a bit of a warning now. Expect a few more of them, especially when the weather gets a bit better. If I suddenly decide to go out in the car, I might just tell you what I'm up to, even if it's just like a half an hour or so. They will add up. The one I did on Saturday, I know it lasted just under an hour, and I got like a 10 hours, you know what I mean? A full 10 hours watch time for it, just by jumping on to say hello. So it does add up. But I wanted to get some more videos the last few days, and I've ended up just not being able to, because of various things. Ooh, the sky looks pretty. United have scored before half time, have they? Ah well, you can't have everything. And to be honest with you, if they're playing Sheffield United, I'd rather Man United win, because Sheffield United, Blades are behind us in the league. Goedenavond, Hadewig. Hoe gaat het met je? You still want to see me reacting to the early stroke vids? I will do that, definitely. I've got to work out a way of doing that. That works timing-wise, date-wise, and the best way of doing it system-wise. I haven't done a reaction video yet to anything. So I need to practice on something first, just to make sure that it sounds okay and looks okay and what have you. Just got back from the gym, had a week, yep. Smashing it. Beat your personal best. Beat anyone up. Did you Krav Maga someone's arse in? Or MMA, isn't it, that you do? I went to the gym once. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, had a week you missed that one. During the slidey writing, Kirsty had one sentence that included both you and Mandy in the same one. What are the chances of that happening now? What are the chances of that? You stopped doing the Krav Maga after your ankle got injured. What is it you do now? What's your gym routine? I'm asking like I was going to do anything myself. Jeez. My gym routine is just about going in and switching on the treadmill to go for a very, very slow walk. That's about it. By the time I do that, I'm knackered. Oh, I was going to say I'm going to get nowhere near my steps today, but I am. I'm going to hit my steps again. That's going to be... That's going to be for the sixth day in 8 days. I'm going to hit me steps target. Brucey bonus there. Now it's just weights and fast walking while chatting with your sister. That's all you need really, isn't it? Bit of weights to keep yourself strong. Fast walking to keep your heart pumping. Aerodynamic, aerobic, fucking aerodynamic. Have a day off, dickhead. Have a day off, Nick. Seriously. Fucking aerodynamic, aerobic, sorry. Idiot. I'm disappointed that I can't join you because I'd love to be able to do that. Bit of aerobic work. As you can see from my stroke walk videos, I am getting quicker at walking. Not great, but I'm getting quicker, so never know. I might be able to start doing some aerobic walking. Weights, not a chance. Hope your ankle feels better soon, but it's 8 years ago. It's not going to get better than it is. You've got knee problems since the ankle injury. I told my mates in work that I've got knee problems, and everyone said, apart from me Geordie mate who thought I meant I was all right. Nick said he's got knee problems at all, man. He's champion. So now I've got knee problems, problems with my knee, not knee problems like. I know what you mean. Once it's knackered. Your foot's not positioned right anymore. Compensation injuries are not good, are they? I do need to get my knee sorted as well. My left knee's still knackered. I tore the medial ligaments playing football on the 4th of December 2019. Not that it's stuck in my mind at all. That was the last time I played football, and it lasted all of 5 minutes. And I'm absolutely devastated that I can't play. Horrific. Steps target, yes. H from steps, not Hadwig, as you quite rightly pointed out. H from steps. Steps also had Lee Latchford Evans, whose middle name Latchford comes from Bob Latchford, who played for Everton, because he's an Everton fan, as is his dad. So nice football thing there. Does sound incredibly painful. Ali, how you doing? How's things? How's it going? Slán you are. Right, so it's only when you run more than 300 metres or try and do a low kick. My advice, Dr. Nick Riviera here, do not run more than 300 metres and don't do low kicks. Look after your body. When your body's in pain, it's telling you something, isn't it? You'll know that as well as anyone. Someone that works out. If your body's telling you stop, then stop. You listen to anything. Listen to my advice. Saf, a bit of useless info. No info is ever useless coming from you, mate. The club you run for has orange and black as club colours. It was blue and white. In the 90s, a Dutch tourist did the club race and loved the race and what they do in the community, so he made a substantial donation to the club. In honour of him, we changed the colours to the Dutch colours. That is fantastic and well deserved. Yeah, you're a twin. You're used to your parents calling you by the wrong name and whatever. Obviously. I'm not a twin, and my mum will have to go through the entire family before she gets to my name, including female names, bizarrely. Bell caught Brighton quickly. Doctor banished Liverpool squad. Alisson is the name of the Liverpool goalkeeper, by the way. Kidnapped. Didn't he have one of his family members kidnapped? He's Brazilian, you normally do, don't they? Sure they do. Loads of players have had. Oh no, it wasn't him, was it? It was it Luis? Was it Luis Diaz? Was it Luis Diaz? The lad that wanted to play for Everton, but we couldn't afford him, and then ended up signing for them over the road. Bastards. Yeah, Luis Diaz, that's him. Johan Cruyff also had family kidnapped. That seems to be familiar, that, and I don't know where I've read it. Mad, isn't it? Who would kidnap the family of the absolute king? The coolest footballer to have ever lived. And that is up against some incredibly good competition, including Georgie Best. I've met Johan Cruyff. He ruffled my hair, although he refused to have a little game of 3-in against us. Whereas Van Basten, Gullit, Rijkaard, they all did. Had a little game of footy with us. Because I was a cheeky little sod. Cheeky little hard-faced Scouse kid. In the tunnel towards the players' lounge at FC20. Every time that one of the players walked past, before you go in there and have a drink, have a game of 3-in against us, and you'd be surprised how many of those players went, yeah, go on. Jan Molby, Jesper Olsen, they all had a game. Erwin Koeman did. Don't think Ronald did. I think he was too arrogant even then. They do that though, don't you know? I was telling my daughter the other day, the dictionary definition of avocado is someone posh asking a Scouse lad, do you have a motorbike? No. Avocado. Toffee pudding. Who would kidnap the family of the king of football? The Italian mafia? I don't think so. The Italian mafia love the football. And especially they love Mavericks. That's why Maradona. If you ever get Mandy as well, doesn't matter. If you ever get the chance to watch the film about Maradona, watch it. The first 5 minutes of it, I almost fell off my chair. It was like watching Grand Theft Auto. It was fucking mental. It's a great documentary, and a lot of it's not just him about playing football. It's about his relationships with some of the more, that side of the Italian lifestyle. Also the Colombian lifestyle that he was a fan of. Doubt you missed the dough. In Spain, yeah. But in Spain, he's also... I mean, Johan Cruyff, there can't be too many people who get a football stadium named after them. There can be even less that get 2 football stadiums named after them. There is, of course, the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam, which is the home of Ajax and the Dutch national team. But there's also the Johan Cruyff Stadium, or a Stadi Johan Cruyff in Barcelona, which is the, I think it's the B team stadium, which is also massive. But not many players will get 2 stadiums named after them. Yeah, I know how weak it is, Ajax, but it's Johan Cruyff. He also played for Feyenoord, don't forget. In fact, he played for Feyenoord when we lived over there. He was at Ajax when he scored that famous penalty when him and Jesper Olsen 1-2'd it in the box, obviously. But then he went and signed for Feyenoord the season after, or the season after that. That was when my dad played against him. And I got to meet him. The man, the myth, the legend. Definitely the coolest man. And also, he's also my Avi on Twitter. There you go. Me Avi on Twitter. Johan, smoking a bifter, lad. Wearing Adidas Dutch shirt, but instead of 3 stripes, he only had 2. Yeah, he got them to remove the 3rd stripe because he was sponsored by Puma, was it? And they said yes, because you don't say no to Johan Cruyff. Developed total football, yep. With alongside, was it Rinus Michels that was with? Might as well add a football flag. Andy, you know where I've come from. You know what my family is. I was brought up in the game. It's very, very difficult to not bring up football when I am the son of a footballer. I've eaten too many donuts, I feel sick. Jeff, what? Got a spare one? Jeff, Mandy wants you to give her one. Can I remember what the right buttons are? This could end up spectacularly badly. Shall we try it? Some Tales from the Crypt with Jeff. I got it right, I pressed the right button. There we go. I know it's called a fair, but I'm not a particularly fair man, so fuck off. There you go. I wouldn't mess with him. Look at him, he looks ripped. You let Celine sing, I'm sinking the boat. End of. I absolutely 100% agree with him. Here's Jeffy. He looks more like Danny Murphy there.
Hoo-yah!
He looks ripped in that first one there, doesn't he? Do you mean proper ripped to bits? Donuts, you could use a donut after the gym. You could. And after the gym, they're not bad actually. Because they're a bit of stodge. They let the body refeed. There's footballers in the Premier League who are on like £300,000 a week who've got, they pay chefs to live with them, to cook them food all day long. The most absolutely fantastic, healthy food. And after the game, they stop and get pizza and fish and chips because you need something heavy for the body to refeed on. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. In my dad's day, their pre-match meal was steak and chips. Imagine that nowadays. They wouldn't even last 5 minutes. I still haven't watched the Alan Carr programme. I haven't, although I did add it the other day on ITVX. I've just started ITVX Premium rather, because BritBox has just stopped, so I've had to start paying for ITVX, and I added it, so it is on my list to watch, definitely. Jeff goes to the gym more than once a week. Jeff lives in the gym, I think, by the look of him. Who's the Peaky Blinder? All right, Jackie. How's it going, Jinxie lad? How am I feeling? How's my exercises going? Ali, I am feeling like 10 kilos of shit in a 5 kilo sack at the moment. I'm aching all over, and I'm as stiff as a wanker's hanky. But apart from that, mustn't grumble. Exercising has gone very, very slowly this week because I'm feeling so tired and so sore. I'm trying though. I'm also trying to put my hand on the steering wheel, my left hand, while I'm driving. A bit more. I can't use it to steer, I have to use my right. But just getting used to being in that position. Hopefully. How many times a week does the gym go to Jeff? Yes. It's not Jeff going to the gym. It's the other way around. Mandy, you show the pub after aerobics. As you should. You've earned it. As a reserve team player, you'd head to the fish and chip shop after the game. You should. Stodge, the body is crying out to be refueled and pasta is too slow release. You need fish and chips. Always started with a juice. Of course, an orange juice filled with vodka by any chance? Yep, good point, Ali. I thank you for adding separate symbol on the bottle. Lovely thing to do. No worries, I'll get there, I will get there. When you look back, and we've just mentioned this, I am going to go back and start reacting to some of my early stroke videos when I first come out of hospital, just to see where the difference is so far, where I'm up to. Where I came from to where I am now I'm miles and miles ahead, so no need to feel sorry for me. I'm definitely getting there. It's taken ages, but the best things in life are worth working for, and this is definitely one of them. So we'll get there. Yeah, Jackie, have you seen the bottle? You were at Fat Club tonight. Had a big dinner when you get home. Yep. First rule of Fat Club, don't talk about Fat Club. We know that now. Big dinner. I used to have a teacup. Well, a tea mug. A bone china one. And on it was written, fridge pickers wear bigger knickers. And my sister bought me as a bit of a joke. So obviously in work I'm drinking out of that and people looking at me like I'm demented or something. My favourite cup, that. I wish I still had that cup. I don't. It's smashed. Ali, you see a new item on the wardrobe? Right. There's two. There's the Isle of Man, which I'm going to have to move because it's out of focus, from my mate Zoe. Also, I'll have to show you this because it's too far behind me. I'm going to put it on the screen. Right, so from this stream, we are fully aware of the fact that the only person that lives in the southern hemisphere is Saf. Everyone else lives in the northern hemisphere. So that's to represent the fact that he is our good friend who's representing the entire hemisphere. There you go. My hair's shorter for a start. It is, because I was in there for 2 months and I couldn't get it cut. I did get one of the nurses shaved me. She kept giving me a bollocking, saying you need to have a shave. I'm like, I will do. I never got round to it. So then she just jumped on me one day and started shaving me, which sounds a lot more interesting than it actually was. I had too much growth and my hair was too long. That two of the girls started calling me Marv from Home Alone, and actually when I looked in the mirror I looked like him. It was horrible. Second week, so weight off is right. I will get there. I'm here telling my story. I might not have been, and that's what I look at every day. If I wake up feeling sore, at least I'm waking up. There was a time when I thought that I might not do. Saf is special. He is the one and only. There's nobody else in the southern hemisphere at all, apart from maybe Alona now, which has slightly spoiled that from last night. But, I'd already printed it and laminated it, so it's staying up. It's staying up. It's staying up. It's there, right? Over and done with. My head is bigger than the world. It is. That's because I'm the star. I'm the star of this show. The world isn't. The world can get behind me. What I'm insinuating is you are in the special needs section. Not at all. You are holding up an entire hemisphere. One-handed. While you're using the other hand to engrave bottles. Mate, you are a star. An absolute star. The north wind would freeze your bones. It did this morning. Jackie, it did this morning. I'm just saying that. It was sunny this morning, but it was freezing bloody cold. So I had me thick fleece hoodie on. The one that makes me look like a bear. And then, as the day went on, it got warmer and warmer. And I sat here sweating without being able to take it off. A monster. Exactly. Cheeky. Man, you thought Jeff ran the show. He does run the show, but I'm the on-screen talent. I'm the star. You think that I run the show, and then Jeff turns up and just things start going mad. Cameras start going bizarre. Ring lights were falling off walls and all kinds of weird shit while he's around. Yet you're the only one who's not in the special needs section. You're safe down there, Saphodemus, and at least I've got you in the right place. You're not in the middle of the ocean, representing somewhere else. Daniel, if you're watching, I've got him in the right place there. Looked at your YouTube analytics and 99% of your views come from Europe. They will do. When you're part of this community especially. The majority of us are from Europe, so yeah. We've got your back. Did I charge me lightsaber? Charge of the Light Brigade. What do you think? I did indeed, and I've kept it blue. But I could have changed it to a different colour. See, all these look white, and yet they're not. They are all different colours. They just look white when you put them in front of the camera. And I know what you were doing. You were trying to see if I was wearing shorts, weren't you? You perv. Disgraceful behaviour. 1% from yourself, Saf. No, that'll be a loner, won't it? The 1%. Jeff is at the US Navy. He is. Saf, you are holding up the entire. I mean, until someone arrives from Australia or Patagonia or Chile or Peru, you are the one and only. Do the noise. Really? What do you think I am, that fella from Police Academy? I don't do noises. Use mum's phone and a tablet to add views. Yep. Spot on. With a mouth like a navvy. Yep. Actually trying to see if I wore a kilt. I wonder if I could get away with... Imagine that. If I can get away with wearing one on a stream. Without anyone noticing. And then right at the end, just before I get to the two teddies, stand up. Wave and then walk off. Wearing me kilt. I wonder. Do they do kilts in my size? They must do. There's some proper big lads in Scotland, isn't there? Got to do what you've got to do to get those views. It's not the views that are important either, it's the bloody watch hours. That'd be brilliant. I could get away with a kilt and that'd be class, right? Are we trying to get me to get on Amazon? Kilt. What size kilt would I be? Did he come in normal sizes? Did he come in a 36 waist? Kilt's okay, sporran in small. That's harsh. It may be small, but I've got 15.5 stone behind it, Jackie. Just saying. Now that I've said it, we need kilt action. Kilty is charged. Is it not a one-size-fits-all thing? Are we still talking about the kilts, Harry? I don't know. I've never worn a kilt. Is it like, does it just wrap around and then you make it as tight as you want, or? Mandy could knit one. Good idea. Could you nick a kilt? Knit a kilt. Fucking hell, nick a kilt. Nick a kilt. Sounds like a place, doesn't it? He's a nick a kilt. It's basically a huge square blanket. I don't know. Why don't we know enough about these things? Why don't any of us on here know what a fucking kilt is? apart from people wear it in Scotland. Is it the one that goes over the shoulder? Is that the big square thing, or even the ones that just go around the waist? Are they just a square? I don't know. Does the kilt size depend on how low the plums hang? Could well be. It could be half an inch below bollock base. Yeah, you were thinking the same, Ali. You should know, Ali. Jackie, you should know you're Irish. You've got kilts over there as well. All the girls that do the floodly oodly dancing, they all wear them, don't they? For Irish kilts. Mandy, have the Welsh got kilts? Have all the Celtic people got kilts? Why haven't we got kilts? I could do a how to wear a kilt short. Do you mean a short video, Harry, or how to wear a short kilt? That's a completely different thing. That might have to be on only Sporrans, that one, I'm afraid. They probably go waist and waist to knee. Right. So it'll be a 36 waist and mine's a 34 waist and a 36 inside leg, so it'll be half of that, I suppose, wouldn't it? Kilts are measured at navel level, belly button level. Oh no, so you don't mean on a warship. There's about a 1 inch adjustment between the given size either way. Typical us men lying about size. What's an extra inch between friends? You're measured for a kilt, they're usually custom made. Steve, because you're English, you know nothing about the jock skirt. Probably the same here now, because we're not used to it. They're expensive, wouldn't surprise me. If you're in between sizes, we suggest going one size up, as you can wear a belt. If the kilt is too small, it'll be uncomfortable. But if it's one size up and you sneeze, the bloody thing will end up on the floor, won't it? Second video, how to order a kilt. There you go. That's your second one sorted, Kirsty. Down the rabbit hole, how to order a kilt. When did they invent the kilt and why? Good question. Is it possibly because there's loads of there's thistles, isn't there? Heather and thistles in Scotland. And if you wear a kilt and you're male, then by the time you get towards the enemy, you'll be very, very angry and ready to fight. I'm sure that's what it is. Kilts for Irish dancing? No. What did he wear? Or is it just over here that they do the Irish dancing wearing kilts? Right, yeah. Yeah, we know the jock strap over here. Pants seem warmer in Scotland. They probably do. It would seem a better idea to wear pants rather than freezing cold with no underwear on. More practical as well, apart from when you need to go for a pee. Just lift and go. Depends on the school of Irish dance you go to, wherever the dress code is, right? True. Suppose it is, isn't it? How's Ruby and Helen? Send all our love as well, Steve. Yeah, pockets and all, yeah. I am presuming that Everton have just scored again because there's just been a almighty noise coming from the front room. Was it not in line with bagpipes for terror in war? Probably. That way, if you see a load of fellas walking towards you wearing kilts or skirts, what are they doing? What are they doing? Let's not fight them. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Better grab your notepad for these ideas. You should. So many good ideas come out of these things. And if you don't write them down, you'll forget them. Yes, Everton 2, Liverpool 0. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Get in there, my son. I'm not going to tempt fate because we'll still get beat 59-2 anyway. So, but it's nice while it lasts. Right, that's going off now. Fuck that. They more likely wear a thong under the kilt. Ugh, nah, man. Don't think I'll be doing that. In Cape Town, you've got the Castle of Good Hope, which is a military barracks. They have bagpiper regiment. Lovely stuff. Yeah, the sound of the bagpipes, for people who didn't know what it was back then, must have been absolutely horrific. The squealing sound of someone walking towards you in a skirt, squeezing an octopus. What the fuck are these people doing? That camera's doing my tits in now. Two-1 to Sheffield United. Well, although it's just said on, I've just checked on Sky, it's just said it's Bishop Desmond, Man United and Sheffield United. 2-0 for us, yeah. Mandy, warning please, trigger warning, 2-0. Talking about football, jeez. Bang out of order, you girl. Yeah, 2-0. Like I say, I think they're watching it in the front room, which will be my dad, my nephew, both Evertonians, and my mum, a Liverpudlian. And whenever there's a screech, and it's a deep screech, it'll be them. When it's high pitched, it'll be her. So just blow the whistle now, referee. Yeah, especially in the winter, if you see a bunch of men in kilts in the snow, do not get involved with these lunatics. And that's before they even start talking and shouting and screaming. I know lots of fantastic Scottish people. They can sound rather aggressive when they shout. The accent is very well set up for it. Mind you, so's the Scouse accent. Scousers can sound exceptionally aggressive even when they're being nice to each other. Must be an English thing. And a Scottish thing. A British thing, isn't it? I started it. Rayla. Yeah, Liverpool are lining up Arne Slot to replace Klopp. Not sure how that's going to work or how it's going to go, but yeah. The Liverpool fans have been very happy in not having a bald manager. It's a big thing on Merseyside, not being bald. And that's going to change, isn't it, when he turns up? They'll have to change their entire attitude towards the follically challenged. Saf Leerdam Buren, Katzenellenbogen by the sea, Nassau and Oranje is the name of the 5 points of the Castle of Good Hope. You remember that from school. Katzenellenbogen we know from pantomime, won't it? Gilly Ossenfeather, Katzenellenbogen by the sea, E. Nassau and Oranje. Leerdam. Cheese comes from there, doesn't it? I would have thought. Leerdammer. Nice that you remember something from school, mate. I just remember laughing loads. And I mean loads. It's got something to do with the titles of some Dutchman. Right, yeah, it will be, wouldn't it? It's nice though. Max Bygraves. Is that what it was? He was on a film earlier on today, I think it was, or yesterday, and my ma was talking about him. Yesterday it was. And she was going, oh, he died years ago, didn't he? No, he died 2012, which I know is years ago, but she was thinking like back in the 60s or something. No, I remember watching him. Did he do Family Fortunes? He did, didn't he? Max Bygraves. Yeah, it was him, wasn't it? That used to be sung at pantos all the time when you're doing the audience participation. Jackie, you remember getting caned? Caned or spanked? Yep. And by the way, Jackie, when was that? Was that at school, or is this just in the last week or so you're telling us? Is there something you're trying to tell us here? Spanked came later. Oh, there you go, yep. When you'd been bad or when you'd been bad. You know, it's two different things, isn't it? Katzenellenbogen is German. German or Dutch German. I think all those areas at some point or another were governed by the same people, weren't they? Means cat's elbows, yep. Strange. Dutch isn't without its faults with this, by the way, but German, why did they have to put so many words together into one massive long word that's almost impossible to say when all you can do is split it up into its own normal words? Dutch happens quite a lot as well, but nowhere near as much as German. Cat's elbows is 2 words. You don't need to put cat's elbows in one go. Know what I mean? Some of those German words are just far too long. For someone who drives a German car, you need to order a new part for this car. What do I need to order? And there's something about that long on a page. No, I'm not doing that, mate. 6 of the best by the physics teacher. Again, Jackie, was that in school or is this recently? Have you met back up again? I want to tell you a story. Yep. I can hear that in my head, Steve. You've also got to put your hands out doing that as well when you do that that impression. German. The Germans who bombed our shippy in the war. Yeah, I want to tell you a story about Johnny McGorry. He sang about a mouse that lived in a windmill. He did. Do we need to sit down, Steve? I think, Jackie, you might struggle to sit down, won't you, after that spanking? Know what I mean? Max Bygraves will never be dead. No. He never will be. He will forever live on in our hearts. You need hands to show someone you care for. Yeah, I remember that. Who else was on earlier? Or the other day? Frankie Vaughan. I also, there was a thing on yesterday, a George Formby film, Turned Out Nice Again. And I found myself laughing out loud at one of the jokes. And it was quite rude. But funny. Surprised myself at that. I have been watching loads of old black and white films. Your grade 7 and 8 teacher is currently the team manager for the Stormers rugby union team in Cape Town. Nice. My former PE teacher is the current caretaker manager of Plymouth Argyle. Neil Dewsnip, or Mr. Dewsnip as we called him. He also used to be a youth team coach at Everton in the 90s. He was my PE teacher in the late 80s in New Hayes Community Comprehensive School in Liverpool. In Liverpool. Nothing wrong with a little discipline, master. Oh, I say. Christopher Chippy Solomon. Right, I'll keep an eye out for him. No doubt he'll be mentioned on the news or on the TV or something. Jackie, your former teachers are mostly dead. Is this through old age or, is this... Is there something you're trying to tell us? Don't cross, Jackie, otherwise there will be tree hubble. Yeah. Why did you do that to them? Majority of yours the same as well, Ali. Sad, isn't it? I'm part of a community, a Facebook group of people that went to New Hayes, and hearing some of the stories from people that were there just before I was and just after I left and what have you. Some of the names they mentioned, the teachers I've forgotten about. It's crazy. Never had a great memory, but for names anyway, but just hearing some of the stories. Yeah, I remember him. Our Welsh English teacher who could bend the English language to his own will. Fantastic. Just discovered you don't have a rabbit mask. What? Can we find you one? Can we find you a rabbit mask? Where can we get one? I wonder if I can get a combo deal. A kilt and a rabbit mask. Buy one, get one free. Can you use a filter? You possibly could, couldn't you? Make one. Knit a one, Mandy. Knit a one, La. A rabbit balaclava. A bunny clava. There you go. That would work. George Formby finished living on the Broads near Wroxham. Bloody great big house. He could afford it as well, considering where he came from. He done well for himself, didn't he? It turned out nice again for him, didn't it, really? And then he invented the grill and fought Muhammad Ali. Some life, that life. Yeah, like the guy who appeared on a Zoom meeting as a cat and couldn't turn it off. That was Boster. If you were anyone else on that Zoom meeting, instead of getting annoyed, you just, you know what, leave him. Just don't worry, it's sound. Carry on. Tell us we're all fired. Mr. Mustapha. When did corporal punishment stop in schools? In England, I do believe it wasn't too long before I started going to secondary school. Or was it just, I don't know, 70s, I seem to think. They stopped doing it. There's people still getting smacked on the head with board dusters, but they weren't allowed to cane you. Purple rabbit mask. Be careful with purple rabbits in Google. Something else will crop up, I'm telling you. Coffee filter, yeah, that'd work. I have to figure out how to do it. YouTube, you can learn how to do anything on YouTube. Corporal punishment stopped in the UK on the day Fergie got married. Yeah, say these days now the teachers will be giving the punishment back to the teachers. You think as well, when you went to school with kids, they were all child size, weren't they? You have a look at lads nowadays in school. There's 12, 13 and 14 year olds with 6'5", built like brick shit houses. Do you really want to start giving them corporal punishment? And they all do Krav Maga and MMA and what have you. Do you want to start smacking them with a bloody ruler or something? You, yes you boy, what? Same reason, I don't think anyone... Well, I was always a good lad at school. Bit of a pain in the arse by being funny and doing stupid voices and impressions and things and telling jokes constantly. But not a pain in the arse, and I think possibly too big for them to mess with as well. But my sister ended up going back to the same school I went to just for a year or so. And every single person, Ashcroft, you're not related to Nick Ashcroft, are you? Yes, my brother. Oh, we loved Nick, he's great. She hated me for it. Why are you so loved in school, you fucking swat? I'm not a swat, I was just nice. 1960 in the Netherlands, of course. I'm not a cat. Yeah, the year before you left, about 85, Steve. That sounds about right. We moved back to England in 85, and I was in the second year. I'm sure it stopped just before then. Sounds about right. It was after that. In Ireland, of course. Slightly different in Ireland as well, isn't it? Well, if you're brought up in a place where nuns can beat the shit out of you when you're a girl, I'm sure corporal punishment lasted a lot longer. The vote took place on the day of the royal wedding, and the politicians who were against it got stuck in the traffic and were too late to cast the vote. Is right there. Kirsty, you think the 1990s because you've been spanked at primary, but you were at a Catholic school. Well, there you go. It wasn't allowed, but they did it anyway because that's what nuns and priests did anyway. Did they sneer? Were they drooling when they said, "You've been a really naughty girl, come here"? Horrible bastards. Jackie, you were punished at big school in the 80s. Did you ask for more? Thank you, sir. Can I have some more? Like to do with hazing. 82 have finished there in Ireland. Just juggled it. The idea of spanking seems so archaic. Can't imagine it being done at schools or at home. It was done spectacularly regularly in schools in the UK. They would get a cane and either cane you on the backside or on the hands. It was just horrible. You're supposed to teach kids, they're there to learn things, not to be punished. It's ridiculous. The same with that, the asylum seekers over there at the moment on the Bibby Stockholm. It's a prison barge. They're not in jail. They're here to try and get asylum. If it works for them, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Don't lock them up beforehand. And that was mentioned, costing us 1.6 billion to house them on there for 3 years. It would have been cheaper to send every one of them on a Disney cruise where they'd be fully fed constantly. Oh, hello.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
Jinxie, level 11. Legs 11. Go you. Corporal punishment was prohibited in all state-supported education in 1986. There you go, Steve. You're right. It was around. I thought it was around about that time. Prohibition was extended to cover private schools in England and Wales in 1998. Scotland in 2000 and Northern Ireland in 2003. Private schools, of course, just disgusting. Were there still nuns and priests at your school teaching, Kirsty? There used to be, didn't there? Didn't tell your parents, otherwise it'd have got worse. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Hated the caning on the back of the hands, really sore. Isn't it horrible? And that's supposed to make you behave yourself. It's an absolute load of bollocks. You don't behave yourself, just become more resentful. It breeds a nastiness in people. Don't need it. Still remember it. I remember it ending when you were still in school. It might have been that it coming early in some schools. I seem to think it stopped before I got to secondary schools. That would have been, I should have started in 1984, but we were in the Netherlands at the time, so I think our school stopped it just before them, if I remember rightly. There were still nuns and priests there, Kirsty. Isn't it crazy? How archaic is it? And again, school is supposed to be to teach kids, to prepare them for life. You don't prepare kids for life by beating them up. Stupid. And they force fed you. Jeez. Horrific, isn't it? And yet, parents will all be telling each other, oh, it's a great school, fantastic school, you should definitely send your kids there. Nowadays, they'll be looking at it saying, do not send your children there, they are absolutely evil. Horrific, isn't it? I think I've mentioned this before on the stream, about the way I treated my daughter. I never spoke to her like she was a kid, even when she was a kid. I'd speak to her like she was a small human, a small adult. I'd try and use words that were a little bit more than the cat sat on the mat. Get her used to talking to adults, having conversations about, not politics as such, but, what's going on in the world and climate change or anything that included a bit more than the Gruffalo's child and what have you. Talk to them like they're an adult. Treat them like they're an adult. Give them the same kind of respect that you would give adults as well. Don't just treat them like little slaves or little bastards to be slapped around. It's horrific. No need for it at all. If it's illegal to hit an adult who can defend themselves, how can it not be illegal to hit a child that's fully dependent on you for food, shelter and security? It should be, and I think it is nowadays, to be honest. And what good does it do, genuinely? I know there's people old school who say, well, I got slapped everywhere and it never affected me in the slightest. I never got spanked, I never got hit, and I grew up all right. You don't need to do it. Some people did it and end up ruining the kids completely. They went from being little bastards to being big bastards. Just horrific. Why does it seem we all have horror stories about Catholic priests and nuns? Because they were horrific people who were protected. And of course, if you protect people who are up to no good, they will continue to get up to no good. Lots of people should be in jail. If you truly believe in God as well, if you're a nun or a priest or something, you truly believe in God, how can you do that kind of thing? Do you not believe that at some point you're going to meet your maker and your maker will say, you weren't supposed to do that to children, you're not coming in? You can't remember ever being hit by an adult. Is that because you're so good at your Krav Maga? I got volleyed everywhere once. In the pub. We had a funeral that had been in the pub all day long and the people were absolutely wasted. And when we got to about 11:30, we said, nah, that's it. No more drinks. No, they weren't having it. And then one of them tried to get behind the bar to have a go at me mate. So I just grabbed hold of him. And then his mate thought I was grabbing him to hit him, but I wasn't. So he punched me. Broke my nose, and then when I fell to the floor, this big lad who was there started volleying me in the head. I had lace marks on the top of me head. Face absolutely in ribbons. And then me mate, the girl that worked behind the bar with me, fucking dickhead. She got a t-shirt which she then covered liberally in Liebfraumilch white wine and put it in my face. So what the fucking hell are you doing? So I've seen it on films. Whenever anyone's got a broken bone or a cut or something, you put alcohol on it. You don't put fucking white wine on a t-shirt in someone's face when about the nose broke. We laughed about that once my nose was back to normal. That's why it's the shape that it is. It's not straight, is it, by any stretch of the imagination? Because it was smashed to bits. Marvellous. And the fella who done it was actually a mate of mine. And was so embarrassed. He got barred out for, I think, a month. But I shook his hand. I understand completely what happened, so don't worry about it. But he still used to apologise constantly. No, it was over and done with, mate. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they preached about the word of God. And we're not preaching that they decide themselves how to treat people evil. Some of them were absolutely truly evil, not all of them. But when you stand there and preach the way to behave and then behave completely different, horrific, isn't it? Talking of no good, did anyone watch the Gary Glitter documentary? I did not. Was that yesterday, was it? On Channel 5. Ugh. Horrific. Horrible, horrible, horrible person. Pretty sure spanking kids anywhere is illegal in Wales now. It's still being debated in England and Scotland. Yeah, stop smacking kids, man. You got caned and a belted home, but only when you were a little shit, Steve. It worked as a deterrent. I don't think it works with everyone, though. That's what I mean. For some people, it will put them on the straight and narrow and scare people into behaving. But for others, my mates, I remember seeing friends of mine get absolutely battered by the parents, and they've ended up just becoming absolute bastards. Didn't deter them doing anything. whereas I never got hit and I turned out to be alright, I suppose. Not really, I've never been in trouble. I don't think I'm horrible to anyone. Different strokes for different folks. And I got mine. Just wasn't a thing, had a week, no. Not that you've got better foot movement and a better jab and stuff like that, no. That's why you have minute. Just wasn't a thing. Saf, where you grew up and still lived, there was only one kindergarten, and it was at St John Bosco Catholic Church. Guess where you went to kindergarten and you still resent the nuns and the priests? Yep, I'm not surprised, mate. Thankfully it has changed. You should be able to send your kids to school without getting nonced everywhere. If you spank your child or hit it, otherwise, youth care gets involved and charges might be made against you. The way I think it is, it's over here now as well. Obviously, it took a while for that to come in because people were still knocking shite out of the kids until fairly recently. You have patients who had their children removed for repeated spanking. It's not illegal to smack your children in Northern Ireland, but it is no marks. If you leave any marks, then it is illegal. You've hit them too hard. So the idea there, of course, is roll them in a mattress before you knock shit out of them with a baseball bat. So I've heard. Oh, shite! Have you seen the time?
But Kipper's Vindaloo can't be good for you.
Quickly to Kipper's Corner. 9-year-old Chesterfield boy wins the European Gull Screeching Championship. A 9-year-old boy who has mastered the call of a seagull is basking in his newfound fame after winning an international competition. Cooper Wallace from Chesterfield began imitating the common coastal bird following a trip to the seaside. Mandy, he's talking about you there. He's now able to produce an uncannily lifelike impersonation after years of practice, and his unusual skill saw him soar to victory in the little-known European Gull Screeching Championships in somewhere. When the squawking day is done, oh, gulls just want to have fun. My throat's knackered. And is that a little seagull? Like a Finding Nemo seagull, saying mine? It looks more like a penis, to be honest with you.
Hoo-yah!
Strange news. Hadawiki went to a Roman Catholic primary school, but there was no nuns or priests there. The nuns and priests are dying out, it seems. Yep. Certainly not allowed into schools doing what they did back then. Thankfully, because that's horrific. Heard a case in court one day where a man hit his child with a cricket bat. The child told the policeman and the cop went and beat the shit out of the father. I think you should be allowed to do that. If someone's going to hit a kid with a cricket bat, for fuck's sake. How old was the kid? Were they 4 or 6? Sorry. Very bad taste. 4-2 for Man United over Sheffield United. Singing's worse than yours. And yeah, it is because my throat's knackered. Do you know what? I write music and I sing quite a lot, but since the stroke I've not been able to sing. And I can't do as many impressions or accents as I could. Weird. That part of my brain is absolutely knackered. I sung loads, man. See the lady on Britain's Got Talent, she was doing animal noises and sea noises. No, I refuse to watch anything like that. I will not watch Married at First Sight, Britain's Got Talent, Strictly Wankers on Ice, anything like that. If you watch it, it just encourages them. No reality TV. None of these pricks out on sunny islands, gel-headed lads with six packs. Oh, she's fit, mate. She's fit. She loves you. Fucking idiots. No, I refuse to watch them. Fair play to the cop. Definitely. It's hard to get police to react to men hitting women. Something it's okay. It's ridiculous, isn't it? See, it happens quite a lot with the if that happens in town in Liverpool, you normally see some big fella just get up and knock shite out the lad who's done it. You don't hit a woman. No chance. Could do with him at Sainsbury's as a distraction. Your local paper reported a seagull nicked a block of cheese out of an old bloke's trolley. What? That's crazy, isn't it? Did he tiptoe in carefully? Shit. I got it right. I got the dad joke right. Wowzer. Could have been worse after the stroke. I could be speaking with a Chinese accent. I could. Does anyone know where that story comes from? There was a woman over here who had a stroke, and when she started to recover from it, she spoke with a Chinese accent, and it sounds like something from the Day to Day or, you know, Brass Eye or something. It sounded like a piss take. It sounded like she was genuinely taking the piss out of him. It wasn't. But it was a proper full-on racist Chinese accent. It was crazy. But she couldn't help it. That's just the way it come out. What? The other way around. So for some reason, hitting people who are in a relationship is somehow acceptable to some. It should never be acceptable. And there are domestic abuse. There's a domestic abuse charity in Liverpool at the moment, which was founded because a fella ended up dying because his missus beat the shit out of him, and I think he killed himself. He couldn't live with it. So it's not just men hitting women, being violent to women, it's the other way around as well. If you love someone, do not hit them, do not beat the shit out of them. Be nice. If you don't like them enough to not be nice to them, piss off and let them be with someone else. Recently had an increase in men laying charges of domestic abuse against the partners. It happens. It's horrible, isn't it? It shouldn't be. It's not like it shouldn't be acceptable. It's not acceptable. It shouldn't be viewed as anything other than disgusting. Fucking disgusting. It's very underreported. Yep. Good for those men who press charges. It is absolutely horrific. I don't even know if it's a stigma of toxic masculinity that you can't admit to the fact that the woman in your life has beaten you up or has gotten to such a stage that you can't take it anymore, and the only way out is that you go and remove yourself from the human race. It's horrific. So there's a lot of good charity work being done to raise money and awareness, and to try and save other men who were in the same situation. And there's a few people interviewed on there, I think it was Granada Reports or something, who were talking about it, who said without this charity we would not be here. So it's a kind of charity but I don't mind giving money to places like that, because it's probably somewhere that they don't get enough money given to them. People don't really realise that they're there, that they exist. If you try and tell someone that there's domestic abuse against men, what are you on about? No, actually, it does exist. If someone hits you, they don't love you enough. Yep, definitely. And the same goes with, I was joking about it with spanking and things. The same goes with a lot of the rough stuff. You have to be very, very careful with that. I think probably a lot of coercive control can suddenly start creeping in, unless you're very, very careful. And people getting carried away. There's been reports of that, hasn't there? Women ended up in hospital because they said they like a bit of rough stuff, and the next thing you know, the fella's knocked shite out of him, thinking he's doing the right thing. Bloody horrific. The amount of reports of women forcing men is also increasing. Did not know that. Should be no forcing of anything. Consensual or not at all in everything. Right, men are still seen as the head of the house. Should never be that way now. It should just be, it's a family with whatever makeup that is, whether it's mum and dad, mum and mum, dad and dad, kids, wherever it is, you're all part of one family unit. It's not the 1940s anymore, isn't it? Know what I mean? Men think so they will take the piss. That sounds about right, to be honest with you, Jackie. As if you try and tell your mates, this happened to me, I'll behave yourself. Of course it didn't. I know it did. Or the police won't even take the report. It sounds about right. Happens with women. It happens too often with, it's actually reported over here. Women have cried over and over again that this is happening, and nothing happens until it's almost too late, or in some cases it is too late. You were warned about it, and you did nothing about it, and now someone's no longer with us as a result. It's horrific. No means no, yep. An absence of yes also means no. That's the way it should be, shouldn't it? Yes means yes. Anything else doesn't. And it's down to us, Steve, isn't it? To behave that way, but also to bring our kids up. Any males that you're bringing up, let them know that's the way it should be. No matter what you're watching on your phone at night when you shouldn't be. Stop throttling women, even if they ask for it. None of that stuff. Right, very quickly again. Hoo-yah! Horace, you'd be feeling left out here. I saw the horses running free in London town. I felt envious. Hoo-yah! Fucking hell, it's soul destroying, that one, Horace. Right. He's coming out with me this week. If I'm going somewhere, Horace is coming with me. Not having that. Life's not passing him by. Yeah, right, Saf. Absolutely right. Sometimes the things you see will shock even those hardened people. Absolutely. Horrific. Yeah, fantastic chat tonight. All sorts put to rights. We always do this. It's one of the good things about this. We can talk about anything, and it stays on the chat. You know what I mean? Everyone's opinion is valid. It's interesting. We've got a good, interesting community, so it's always a good laugh and a good chat, an interesting chat, and so I always try and learn something as well. So, absolutely right, Jackie. Was Horace envious because he wanted to chase the horses? Nope. It's he wants to run free like the horses, I think, to be honest with you. Teddy picnic time. Yeah, right, Steve, absolutely. Horace needs a picnic. Go and enjoy the highlights. 2-0. Is right. Fuck off, Klopp, you horrible Scorpions. Air guitar playing gimp. Wonder what he's going to moan about tonight. He always moans. Yep, a picnic for Horace. It's coming. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's there. The Red Side Clubhouse is quiet down the road. He is right. It's 11 o'clock already. It is. Hadavik, it is. That has flown by, hasn't it? 10 o'clock here. 11 o'clock there. That's what happens when you're in the company of fantastic people. It flies by. I swear these streams are getting quicker and quicker all the time, which is why I've had to try and sneak in Horace and Kippers, because before you know where you are, you are. Jeff, stop eating the donuts, you're half with. Down to Arsenal now. I don't mind City winning it either, to be honest, because it really, really annoys the Liverpool fans. £11 PM down there too, of course it is, yeah. How are the doggies? How are they? Still sleeping. I won't say naar buiten then, will I? I'll whisper that one quietly. With me indoor voice, naar buiten. Bedtime daff. Who takes a Dutch truck to bed with them? Daffs. Oh, Saf, sorry. Until you start to move. As soon as the second you move slightly, off you go. Should you say it's 11 PM in your domain? It's 11 there. The entire southern hemisphere is 11 o'clock, as far as we can tell. Prove me wrong. Your half of the world, literally your half of the world. Does it echo when you talk? Because it's completely empty. So if you decree one time zone, that is the southern time zone. No matter where you are on the world in the northern hemisphere, whether it's China or Spain or Mexico, as soon as you go below that equator, it's staff o'clock. Right south of you, definitely. And actually on there as well. You are completely just south of the Netherlands on that as well. Absolutely, yes, you're right, Ali. Fact, Steve. Complete fact. If we ever drop anything on the northern hemisphere, Saf can catch it and then throw it back up to us. Maybe that's the reason why South Africans play so much cricket and rugby. It's so they can catch things to throw it back up to. Mind you, South Africans, I said plural, there's only one, isn't there? There's only one person in the entire southern hemisphere. Hedwig, you wouldn't mind the British time zone there. Put a bid in for it. See if we can get it changed. Just one entire European time zone with us. You've got some new keeper gloves to test that theory. Of course, there you go. See, being a goalkeeper was training to catch all our stuff. Whatever we drop, you shall catch. The light would not keep you, wouldn't keep you up in the summer, in the evening that way, of course. Although, to be honest, where we are, especially up north, it stays light until very, very late at night during the summer. To the point where 11 o'clock at night, it still is almost sort of dusk. At some days, it can even look a little bit daytime-ish. It's crazy. You pity the soul that tries to join the PMA from south of the equator. I have got friends in Australia, but so far they haven't made it to a stream. So for the moment, you're safe, mate. You are safe with an E on the end. You are safe. Yeah, Jackie, you must have dropped your money. So I have to keep an eye out for it. Steve, you are closer, aren't you, to Hadavik? You are only, I mean, quite a lot closer as well, actually. Just the same 1 hour difference. Crazy. I suppose we can't have half-hour time zones or quarter of an hour time zones because it'd just be crazy. But it's weird that. Which is why, because I'm right on the west, and Mandy's further west than me as well. When it's dark where you are, it'll still be light where we are. It's very, and we're in the same time zone. It's strange. There you go. Money is non-returnable. Well said, Saf. Love that time of year, Jackie. I do as well. Isn't it absolutely amazing? Especially when it's warm. There's not really a breath of wind. All the windows are open, or for us the conservatory doors are open. I just occasionally go out and stand out in the garden. It's still quite bright. I can look out towards the west, so it's even lighter there. I absolutely love it. I might at some point take the camera out with me during the summer when it's late nights where it's still light, and then I will show you just how light it is, especially on the beach facing towards the west, because there's nothing between us and Northern Ireland. Next step, Northern Ireland, there's literally nothing. So even when it's starting to get a bit darker here, you can see so much brighter over there. It's crazy. Send them the link. They can tell us my secrets. They don't know my secrets. Well, Danny might. He lives in Sydney. He's an MMA artist as well, actually. I think he's an MMA instructor in Sydney. He might know a few things. Me and him used to go out on nights out all the time when he worked in Liverpool. Hadavik is still a 2 hour drive from the coast. I am a 5-minute drive from the coast. Crazy, isn't it? But it's funny when you get to the coast, especially if that coast faces west, how light it can be after it's dark where you are. And I suppose for Steve, it'll be the other way around. You can be in complete darkness and then look out towards the east, and then it's just daylight over there. It's crazy. Sydney doesn't mind at all. He's okay that way, is our Sid. You are the most south and the most east PMAer. You will be, won't you? You will be. You definitely will be. Jealous of the coast here. It's nice. It's anybody who lives near the coast shouldn't take it for granted. It's a lovely thing to have. I love being near water, whether it's the sea or the river. I think it's fantastic. There's just something about water which is obviously life-giving, but it soothes my savage soul too. If two people know about it, it's not a secret anymore. Well said. You've got coast, east, west and south of you. You certainly have. So, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what you could have won. Saf holds the record for being the most southerly and easterly. Susan in Las Vegas will be the most furthest west, I think. Nobody from LA has joined in yet. North. Is Casper still the furthest north? Who's further north? Are we further north? Is Northern Ireland further north than Denmark? It might be, you know. I'm going to have to look into that, aren't I? I am going to have to look into that. And then, I don't know, is Casper, is Denmark further north? Genuinely further north than Northern Ireland? But definitely, I'm going to have to check it out. We have to get the globe out. and then check it for level. It's funny that though, isn't it? But then also that can be a test. Can we try and push the boundaries all the time? Can we get someone further north? No. It's not. We have had Enbus, haven't we? Remember Enbus from Finland who joined in? I know, not a regular, but I haven't put the Finnish flag up, have I? Enbus from Finland is further north. That's the furthest north we've had so far. So, yeah. South Africa is the furthest south and east. Finland's the furthest north. Las Vegas the furthest west. Can we push the boundaries? Can we get people from further abroad, further afield? How can we do that? Finland wins, definitely Finland. Unless you're one of those conspiracy theory lunatics who says that Finland and Australia don't exist. And the moon is made of hollow cheese, which is actually a hologram. Know what I mean? Finland, yeah. Who is closest to Greenwich? The Greenwich Meridian, I think, is going to have to be Kirsty. I would think Kirsty's definitely the closest to that. Who's closest to the equator? Very good question. Who is closest to the equator? Who's further south? Steve, Hadvig, or Daniel? I don't know. You'd have to see it on a map to see how far south Maryland is compared to us. I've got a feeling Maryland might be further south than the UK and Netherlands. I think it is, isn't it? Daniel might be the furthest south of in the northern hemisphere. I think he'd be closest to the equator. I think he's closer to the equator than Yusuf, to be honest. Oh, we'll definitely have to look into that, you know. Whether you're closest to the equator or Daniel is. I'm going to do that when I finish on here. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Africa is huge and you are at the southern tip of it. Whereas the northern hemisphere is quite huge as well, but Daniel is quite far south in the northern hemisphere. So, as to be honest with you, so's Hadvig and so's Steve. And Kirsty's further south than you, yeah, of course. Of course, because Great Britain is not that. It's at an angle as well, so. Yeah. Kirsty's definitely got the Greenwich Meridian, because I think she has anyway. Got to have, she? Greenwich goes to fucking London, know what I mean? And I'm sure she'd be closer to that. Laz in Manchester won't be closer. No. Yeah, I think Kirsty's got Greenwich. And it's either Saf or Daniel who's got the equator. There's going to be, you know what, we are going to get a list of the Nickus Book of World Records. There we go. Let's whip out the measuring tape. Is that your name for it? I've got a 12-inch one, but I don't use it as a rule. There's not much difference between you and Mandy when it comes to the Greenwich Meridian. Hadvig, you're going to check your latitude. Does that mean you're going to bed? That's a nice way of putting it. Shattered, I'm going to go and check my latitude. I'm going to have to find this out, genuinely. We'll get there, though. That also means I've got another... There's going to be another board. We've got a Botrix board. We're going to have a leaderboard as to Who's the furthest north, south, east, west equator meridian? We'll have to find out where the meridian goes through. We know it goes through London. It goes through Greenwich, which is why it's called a Greenwich Meridian. Where else does it go through in the UK, in England? It's going to be England, isn't it? Which other towns and cities? Who's going to be closest? Can we get someone from, I don't know, does it go through the East Midlands? Does it go through Hull? Jeff could be closest. He's from Hull. Could it be, I don't know, it's not Middlesbrough, it can't be Middlesbrough. Can it be somewhere like that? Where does it go through? Why don't I know these things? Why am I 51 and English and don't know these things? It's rusty and non-operational. Yep. Going to send the GPS coordinates later. Is that a euphemism? Alright. Jeff definitely wins the award for closest to the Earth's core, without a shadow of a doubt. Then also, if we've got that, who is genuinely... Well, I'm at sea level, so I don't think many people are going to be lower than me, to be honest. Well, Mandy's the same, Steve's the same as well. But who's going to be the highest? Who's at the highest altitude? We are going to have to find all these out. And everybody that comes in. First question. Hi, you're welcome to the stream. What latitude are you at? How close to the meridian are you? Do you live in a cave? How far under sea level are you? Do you live up Mount Everest? It'll go through probably Skegness and gone. Yeah, I was thinking it's not... because of where the line is going through London, there's not a huge amount north of London in that particular direction, is there? Skeg Vegas, and then into the North Sea. Saf, you're 5 metres above sea level. That means you're still above sea level. We beat you. Jackie, you'll win nothing. No, you will. How do we call Kirsty the lowest? Will they be below sea level? Netherlands, some parts of the Netherlands are below sea level. So it could be. You've been to Skegness and all it was miles of caravans. Yeah. Again, Mandy will probably tell you a lot of North Wales is a bit like that as well. Just as far as they can see, there's caravans, but it's lovely as well. You're a bit higher than sea level for now anyway. With global warming, who knows? Are you really? Well, I suppose you must be because you've got Aruri behind you, haven't you? Snowdonia just doesn't appear from the middle of a fucking billiard table, does it? You're in the Midlands of Ireland, Ali, in the Midlands of Ireland. Yep. So you're not as far west as Las Vegas, you're not as far south as Cape Town. How do we get 31 metres above sea level? What? Really? I was going to say the irony of one of our Dutch people being the highest person in the stream. There's plenty of Dutch people in Amsterdam would be fairly high as well. Just checked. That's mad. 30. I wouldn't have thought 31 metres, but like you said the other day, Netherlands is fairly flat, but not completely flat. So you just checked that. Mandy, you are on a slope. Yeah, like I say, if you've got the Snowdonia National Park, as it used to be called, behind you, that does, you don't just go flat and then up, do you? It would have to be on a slope. Never thought of that. Of course you are. Whereas I am very much at sea level. How do you check that? How do you check if you're on a slope? You put a ball down, Ali, and if it disappears, you're on a slope, girl. How do you, your garden is 30 metres. So you're on a slope as well. Are we all on slopes? I'm making work for myself here, aren't I? You know what I mean? I'm making work for myself. There's going to be all kinds of Nicholas Book world records. Who's the highest? Who's the lowest? Who's the furthest? There's going to be loads of records. I wonder if we can have something. Do you win a medal? Can I have a virtual medal? That's what I can do, can't I? Eventually, if I get to the 3,000 watch hours, I'll be able to get memberships, channel memberships, which I'll try and give away for free to everyone that's in here. And then I can start making free stuff to give you, including if you're the furthest of anywhere, you can have a little gold medal. How's that? We can do that. The topographic chart of the Netherlands. I did see there was a map the other day, and it was completely flat apart from 4 or 5 sections which do look fairly high. Not Everest, but fairly high. Steve, you're only a mile from the sea, but according to your phone, you're 96 metres, 316 feet above sea level. Are you coast or are you cliff coast? Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? I am beach coast. That's it. I'm going to have to check though, just in case. Nicholas, have you gone back to kilts? Nicholas kilt wearers shouldn't ride bicycles. There we go. I am going to have to... How on earth do I get myself into this shit? I'm going to start looking for kilts and world records for people that are on the stream. Your cliff coast, there you go. So you will be slightly higher than sea level, obviously, because just cliffs by their nature are higher than sea level. Me on the other hand, just drive that way and it's the beach. Probably I might be at best a few metres above sea level. I wonder if I can check that. How far can a quarterback throw a ball? No. How far above sea level am I? What is my elevation, man? I'm have to do this live. My device thinks I'm 196 feet above sea level. Nah, mate, I'm not having it. 60 metres, not a fucking chance. Not a chance. Alright, the web is now saying I'm 5 metres above it. Load of bollocks. Not having it. Not having it. Adam, how you going? Still going on? Yeah, over 2 hours is normal. A lot more than 2 hours this one though. We're trying to find out who's furthest north, who's furthest south. Well, we know who's furthest south. It's fucking out Saf, isn't it? Adam, you weren't here earlier on. We have the Earth behind us. Because as far as we can see on this stream, the southern hemisphere consists entirely of Saf, nobody else. And then everyone else on Earth is in the northern hemisphere. So he's the furthest south and also the furthest east. Enbus, who was from Finland, is the furthest north that we've had in Finland, obviously. The furthest west has been my friend Susan in Las Vegas. We think Kirsty is the closest to the Greenwich line, the Meridian line. We're trying to work out whether Saf or Daniel are closer to the equator. We will get there. Yeah, we're going as long as the dogs sleep. Once the dogs wake up, we're out of here. We're out of here. Adam, how high are you? Considering you were talking about it earlier on, you've been very high, man. How high above sea level are you? Do you know? Yeah, I thought I was at complete zero sea level, but apparently I'm halfway up Mount fucking Everest because of this shite. Load of me shite. Here we go. There you go, Saf. Coordinates, GPS coordinates. Oh, you sent them through as well, haven't you, on the gram sound. Yeah, it's the YouTube that selects the membership. So if you're in there, it will just automatically throw memberships at people randomly. You can gift some to people direct, but most of them, you can buy 10 of them and then throw them into the pot, and you just get randomly given out to people. But when I reach that 3,000, I will start up memberships, and I'll give them away free anyway, because the whole point of it, just so you've got little things, little buttons and things to press during streams. You can all start spamming each other with I will do a Horace face, a little Kipper's face, a Jeff one, so anyone else who's watching the stream will be slightly confused as to why there's bears and a devil within the same thing. We can do that though. Adam, you haven't had a vape for 30 hours. It is difficult. Stick with it, mate, if you can stick with it. Better off for you. You'll get there. George Michael there. Gotta have faith. It's very random. Very random. Oh, jeez. If I click any more... Oh, it's ridiculous. I'm starting to sound like a dolphin. Like a tired dolphin. All these clicks. Anyone know Dan's town or city? What's the name of where he lives? Is it one of the Bergs? Something Berg. Yeah, well done. 30 hours is a hell of a one. Frederick. That's it, Frederick he lives. Frederick, Maryland. Battenberg. Well, that just takes the cake. Sorry. Disgusted with myself there. Yeah, Frederick, Maryland. Westminster or something. Oh, is that what it is? It's somewhere there anyway, isn't it? No, I can't think. He has mentioned it, hasn't he? It's not like we're giving away state secrets. It'll come to us. Is it Westminster? Sounds about right, mate. Don't know your sea level. It says 10 metres. It's not possible. That's the same here, mate. I've been told it was, I think I'm 9,000 feet above sea level. When it's there. When it's there. In fact,
It's going up, 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 it's there.
The sea is there. Does it depend on whether the tide is in or out? Yes and no. Sea level is not the same all over the world, by the way. Some sea levels are higher than others. Some girls' mothers are bigger than other girls' mothers. This is another Smith's stream, isn't it? As most of these have been lately. Most northerly person is Michael Parkinson. Absolutely 100% right. Well, he was. No longer with us, unfortunately, is he? Our Michael. Our Parky. You win the closest to the equator by 5 degrees of latitude. Saf, you are the equivalent of an East German shot putter in the 1980s. Just winning everything. Every possible thing you can go in for. The furthest south, the furthest east, the closest to the equator. You are absolutely smashing it, mate. Oh, speaking of smashing it, though, I am now starting to get bloody tired. And is match of the day on tonight, Steve? Do you know? I don't know if it is or isn't. Oh, shit. No. It doesn't say it is. Oh, yeah, it does. 11:15 on BBC Two. Is right the firm sound. Well, I'm going to start tidying up before heading into the front room to watch a little bit of football. So I want to watch that before MASH starts later as well. And I have to start making gold medals and 6,000 of them to send to Saf because he's won everything so far, including being the only person in the entire Southern Hemisphere. Which is fair play to you. Yeah, so as always, cheers for tonight. I really enjoyed that. I had a bit of a shitty day today and I needed this, so thank you so much. You are all fantastic peopleage. A time in your company, a second in your company is not a second wasted. So there's, thank you very much. Slange, wel te rusten. Graag. Dankjewel. Cheers. Take care, everyone, and I will see you. I'll get this right this time, won't I? I will see you on Sunday. Like I told you on Sunday, I would see you on Sunday. Thanks anyway, fantastic people. You are wonderful. Laters.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
And that is that.
Hoo-yah!